All right, go.
I lost my train of thought now.
Sorry.
So anyways, basically, you know, I think that this would definitely be something that would be good, especially since they are family oriented here at your company. Most of them have families, they're at a fairly young age. I think that that's just a really wonderful product that we offer. Another one is your medical. I mean, you are doing a wonderful thing by offering coverage to your employees. I mean, I think that's great, and I salute you for that, because most companies don't do that for their employees. However, with major medical, you do have a lot of holes that need to be filled. You've got your deductible, you've got your co-pay, you got your co-insurance, and you got things that aren't covered, you know. So basically, by the time you get through, it looks like a block of Swiss cheese. There's going to be tons of holes in there, and that's where we come in, because we've got lots of different programs and things that we can use to help fill in those holes for you. The next one that I want to talk to you about is our catastrophic illness. It's a funny statistic, but every 30 seconds, about 75% of people are filing bankruptcy. And out of those 75, it's related to medical costs. What's funny is about 68% of those 75 have major medical insurance. So, you know, it's one of those things that you really got to look at all avenues here to see where you can help your employees and make it a better work environment for them. Now with our catastrophic illness, we've got 4 different policies with that one. We've got a cancer policy, which is great. Unfortunately, with cancer treatment nowadays, only about a third of it's covered. The other 2/3 considered experimental. You've got travel, you've got second opinions that you have to get. You know, it's a really hard thing if you're diagnosed with cancer and you can't even afford to pay your bills, because as you know, it's very expensive. We actually have one policy that paid out $1 million. So as you see, there's not a whole lot of restrictions there. It's not age banded, and it's not tobacco rated either. So, and also another thing to think about too is that we pay the employee directly. We pay them the cash so that they can use that money for the things that they deem viable in their life at that point. It doesn't go to a doctor, it goes to them. So that's, you know, something that I think is very, you know, great for the employee.
Yeah, that would certainly, you know, I would think the employee would definitely appreciate that more, and, you know, have, you know, feeling of a little more ownership of what they've been paying for, at least.
Exactly. I'm sure that it's already a stressful situation, being diagnosed with cancer and then having to worry about bills and...
Yes, and you know, I've had a couple of family members that have gone through that, and, you know, it's the last thing you're going to want to be worrying about. So
that's right, and that's actually one of our cheaper policies that we have too. I believe it's about $9 a month. I think it ranges depending on how much, you know, coverage you're getting, but I think that's one of the cheaper ones that it starts at. The next one's accident, and as you said, you have a warehouse, so you probably in the back of your mind are constantly thinking, when are one of these guys going to do something to hurt themselves? Because as we know, you know, it happens, you know. So we've got a really great accident policy that also pays direct to the employee. And
that, let me ask, like with workers' comp, you know, they'll there's no kind of entanglement with that.
Not at all.
You know, that just goes, that process goes on as it would.
Workers' comp pays the provider, whereas our benefits pay the individual.
Okay.
So there's no conflict of interest there, and there's no way that would, you know, hinder anything on that end. Now, the next one that we have is like we have heart attacks, strokes. We've got a really great policy that covers those as well. You know, heart disease is such such a rampant disease right now, as far as cancer and that goes. They're right up there. So we've got a really great policy for that as well. So that's something to look at.
And what would it, and how would that benefit, as opposed to relying on their insurance? Or is this?
Again, it pays the employee directly.
Okay, so this would again be
things that are not normally covered under major medical will help them out with the catastrophic illness.
Okay, all right.
So life insurance too. Right nowadays, it's so easy for somebody to go on the internet and try to buy life insurance because it's really hard to get an individual agent to come out to your home and sit down with you. There's just not a whole lot of money to be made on that end for them. So a lot of people are going online completely blinded, not realizing what they